Hey, what's up, world? How everybody doing today? I'm Ronaldo Alexander. Welcome to the Finding Your Will to Survive show on this Tuesday, September 15th. Hope everybody's doing well. How are you? Ask that you would like this show, like this page, share it, start a watch party, if you will. This is the Finding Your Will to Survive show. And this is a place where real people can get real encouragement for real life issues. Nothing textbook. Everything that I bring forth is either something I've dealt with directly or indirectly, but I've had to use this particular topic, a message for myself. This is the Finding Your Will to Survive show, and I am your host, Raynaldo Alexander. How are you? Hope everybody's doing well. Communicate with me. I do go back and I read the comments. I respond to the comments. However, I'm not able to see them as you actually type them. But I ask that you use a lot of hashtags. Use anything that's said that may resonate with you. Hashtag it. Hashtag it. Any questions that you may have or might want to, comment or say something directly, I do go back and read all comments and I will respond. Again, I'm Ronaldo Alexander. This is the Finding Your Will to Survive show, and I am your host. Happy Tuesday. Today is September 15th, 2020. Today's topic is don't give up and don't give in. I want to start off with a story. There's a story of a farmer that had a donkey. So this particular donkey ended up stumbling and falling into a well. The farmer scratched his head, made circles, trying to figure out how can I possibly get my donkey out this well. So eventually he concluded that the donkey was old and the well needed to be covered up anyway. And it just wasn't worth the effort to try to get this donkey out. So what this particular farmer did was he called up all the neighbors and his friends, and they began to shovel dirt into the well. They shoveled dirt into the well. And the donkey began to cry horribly when he figured out what was going on. He began to cry horribly. And they continued to shovel dirt into this well on top of this donkey back. The donkey continuously cried and cried and cried. They continued to shovel dirt into this well on top of the donkey's back. Well, the donkey eventually got quiet. They continued to shovel, and the farmer decided to take a peep down in the well. And reached, he leaned up and looked down into the well, and he noticed that every time a shovel of dirt would hit the donkey's back, the donkey would shake the dirt off his back and step up onto the dirt. Well, the rest of the neighbors and the friends continued furiously, furiously to shovel dirt into the well, shovel dirt into the well. And every time the dirt hit the donkey's back, he'd shake it off and he'd step onto it. And they were all astonished, absolutely amazed that over a period of time, the donkey eventually ended up stepping up out of the well and running off. He stepped up out of the well and running off. The moral of the story is regardless if you felt as if life has saw you as being just, done with, people has counted you out, the dirt of life has been shoveled on your back, shoveled on your back, shoveled on your back. If you could just the will, find the will to not give up and shake off the dirt, it's just a matter of time before you'll be able to step onto the dirt and step over the very thing that was thrown on you to cover you up. Don't give up and don't give in. Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever felt like life had given up on you? People had given up on you. Circumstances was as if dirt was being thrown on you, that you were no longer valuable. Why? Possibly because you have some type of chronic disease, kidney disease, lung disease, heart disease. Maybe you've had surgery after surgery. Maybe, you've just been trodden on and beaten up of life and even saw yourself as being useless. I'm here to encourage you today to not give up and don't give in. Because just like the donkey, every piece of dirt, every shovel of dirt, every scoop of dirt that's thrown on your back, with your will to survive and your will to make it and your mindset to not give up, you have the ability to shake off the dirt and to step onto it and eventually step over what was thrown onto you. Don't give up and don't give in. So when life is coming at you like this, when it's one thing after another, when things are dumped on you, when you're carrying the weight of the world, it seems, on your back, you don't know if you're coming, you don't know if you're going. And it seems as if the ones that you depended on the most, sometimes it seemed as if they left or they walked away or they don't understand. However it may be, it seems as if you're in this thing all by yourself. So from the moment the thing starts until a moment that the thing ends, if you started, say like me, I started kidney dialysis in 2009. Okay, I had a kidney transplant in 2016. From beginning to the end, in between time, in between time, I literally had to find my reason why. The goal is to not give up. The goal is to not give in. The goal is to complete the task. The goal is to finish the race. The goal is to complete the fight. The goal is to not give up and to not get in. But with any goal, there will be complications. There will be obstacles. There will be challenges. So what do you have to do in order to overcome the challenges of life that will be thrown at you? First and foremost, you got to find your reason why. With any goal to be completed, with any task to be completed, with any challenge to be overcome, you must find your will to survive. You must find your reason why. What is your reason why? The reason why is something that you and only you must find. It's the reason that it's the thing that makes you get up when you're knocked down continuously over and over. It's the thing that makes you dry your tears after you've cried constantly, night in and night out. It's the thing that makes you go when you don't want to go. It's that thing that you ask your question, why? What happens if I quit? Who will it affect? How will it destroy their lives? How will it help their lives? My why was my kids. My reason, my reason to fight, my reason to survive was my kids. I've told you once before. So I was at this critical state, this critical point in my life after everything but the kitchen sink was thrown at me. And then out of nowhere came the kitchen sink as well. 5 years of dialysis, had to stop working, could not work. The spouse walked out, the house caught on fire, depression, everything was thrown at me. And I was at my breaking point. I was at the breaking point. And I did not know if I wanted to continue to live until that moment my daughter embraced me. 3-year-old daughter, she hugged me, she embraced me. And with that hug, I received, it's like hope was injected into my spirit. It's like inspiration and motivation was injected into my spirit. And I concluded, after all the crying, after all the snot, the tears, I got up off the floor and I concluded that I will fight, that I will continue, I will survive. That was my breaking point. That became my why. But it was so much deeper than that. You see, as an African American man growing up during that time, I was in my younger 20s. Statistically, it was said that as a young African American male, I probably would not live to see my mid 20s. Gang violence was going on. It was just one thing after another. Men were being killed left and right. That's one thing. The second thing is I grew up without a father. I never had a man to fight for me. I never had a father to fight for me. I never experienced or knew what it was like to have a father to fight for me, to devote his life to me, to give everything in his spirit and in his soul and his heart to me, to be able to help me to see life as it really was and to inspire me and encourage me to live and to continue on. I didn't have that. And I wanted to make sure that I was the first in my generation to give that to my kids. That became my reason why. What's your reason why? Who is it? Who is it that you have to live for? In spite of everything you're going through, in spite of all the bad circumstances and situations, in spite of the rough waters that you're having to cross right now, who is it? Who is it that you have that you can fight for? Who is it? Is it a family member? Is it a child? Is it a relative, a friend? Who is it? Who is it that you could think of that you know in your mind that if you gave up this fight, that if you quit, that not only you quit on yourself, but you quit on them. If you quit right now, who is it that you know of that needs you and that it would affect them tremendously? That's your reason. That's your reason why. That's the fuel you need to force you to go when you want to quit. That's your reason right there. Your reason, your why has to be bigger than you because we'll quit on ourselves. There were times I didn't want to go forward. There was times I didn't want to move. I didn't want to continue. What's your reason? Who is it that's dependent on you? Who is it that needs you right now? That sees value in your life, even when you stop seeing value in your own life. Who is it? Who are you fighting for? Who do you keep getting up off the mat for when you're continuously being knocked down over and over and over and over again? But yet you find it within yourself to keep on getting up. Who is it? What's the reason that you've decided to not take no for an answer? No, I will not give up. No, I will not stop. No, I will not let this beat me. No, I will not stall out where I'm standing. No, no, no. Who is it? Why is it so important to you that you keep going? I'm going to give you a moment just to think about it. Because before you can go any further, before you can defeat any challenge, before you can climb any mountain that's going to require everything in you, before any complicated goal can be accomplished, you must have your reason why. Who is it? Your why must not change, and it cannot change. Your why will stay the same. Your why will be consistent in spite of what's going on, in spite of how long you have to bear the infirmities of what you're bearing. Your why will never change because it's the driving force. It's the driving force of why you do what you do. It's your purpose. It's your purpose. Who's your why? What's your why? Who means more to you than your life itself? What means more to you than your life itself? Because I'm sure if I could think back, if I can use my imaginative mind and I could think and get into the mind of that donkey while the owner and the owner's friends and neighbors were tossing dirt, shoveling dirt onto his back, to cover him up because the owner had deemed him useless and wasn't worth the trouble it would take to get him out the well. It wasn't worth it. You ever been in that predicament? I'm wondering what would that donkey could what possibly could he have been thinking? Let me see. He probably was wondering why is it that because he was a little old in age, I'm sure had been useful all those years in all those predicaments and all those situations. He was useful. And because he had got old in age, in one moment, one situation, he was deemed useless. He probably was thinking, how is it that you could give up on me so easily? How is it that I could have devoted my life to you to help you accomplish your task here on the farm, to help graze the field, to do everything that I've done? How is it that you could give up on me so quickly in one moment? And life is like that. Life is like that. One minute you don't have a concern in the world. Everything is going good. And out of nowhere, boom, you're blindsided by a situation that has knocked the breath out of you, by a situation that has left you feeling vulnerable, lonely, and useless. Perhaps that's you. Don't give up and don't give in. In the meantime and in between time, that's the moment in which the situation first started until the moment in which the situation has ended. In between time, in the meantime, these are the critical moments. It's the moments when you're listening to all of the inspirational messages. It's the moment when you're trying to figure out life, you're trying to gather your bearing. It's the moment in which you've been knocked blind. It's the moment in which you're laying on the campus trying to gather yourself, trying to gather your breath. It's the moment in which you feel like you're being choked by a python. It's these moments in between time, in the meantime. Yes, you're believing. You're believing for something great, something possible, something positive. You're believing that a bad situation can be turned around into something good. You're believing that you will receive a transplant. You're believing that you will receive some type of miraculous healing. You're believing in your heart with everything in you, that tomorrow will be greater and will be better than today, and the next day will be better than that day. But life keeps happening. Life keeps happening. The dirt keeps coming. The shovel of dirt keep coming. Things keep happening. You get tired. You get frustrated. You get lonely. You're hurt. You're devastated. In between time, in the meantime, you're believing that tomorrow will be the day you smile. But right now, you're not smiling. In the meantime, in between time, when you're awaiting something great to have, don't give up and don't give in. These are the times that will stretch you. These are the times that'll make you feel vulnerable. These are the times that will be the loneliest times of your life. These are the times that'll make you question your very existence. These are the times that'll make you wonder why is it that you continue to move forward and you continue to fight, and it seems like every time you take one step, you get knocked back two steps. These are those times in the meantime and in between time, the critical moments in your life when you must decide not to give up, when you must decide not to give in, when you're being stretched, when you're being stretched, when it feels like you're being tortured, you're being beat and kicked, you've been left for dead, you've been stabbed in the back, you're questioning everything. And even in that critical time, you must make the decision to never give up and to never give in. You got to make that decision, which will ultimately become the greatest decision of your life. But these also are the times where you experience strength. These are the times where you will be brought into your own identity. Because as every scoop of dirt is thrown on you, and you shake it off and you take that next step on top of it, every step is a step closer to your breakthrough. Every step is a step of elevation. Every step is a step of confidence. One day at a time, one moment at a time. You can do it. Dry your tears, wipe your tears. It's okay to cry, but wipe them out and keep going. It's okay to wonder why, but keep on going. It's okay. It's okay to feel depleted, but find your will to survive and make up in your mind that you're not going to quit. Make up in your mind that you're going to conquer chronic kidney disease. You're going to conquer dialysis. You're going to conquer your current circumstances. You're going to conquer cancer. You're going to conquer divorce. That this thing's not going to get the best of you, but you're going to get the best of it. These are the times where also you're experiencing growth and strength, because everybody wants to be on the mountaintop, but nobody wants to be in the valley. But it's in the valley where the vegetation grows. It's in the valley where the rivers of water are running and the streams are flowing. It's in the valley where there's growth and there's life and there's activity. You may be in the valley of the hardest fight in your life right now. You may be in the trenches. But if you decide not to quit, you decide not to give up and not to give in, you will find yourself growing. You will find yourself being stronger each and every day. You'll find yourself a lot further on tomorrow than you are on today. If you decide not to give up, you will find yourself up ahead of the road in a better position that you are right now. Mentally make up in your mind. Make up in your mind. Make up in your mind. No, I won't quit. No, I won't give up. No, I won't give in. Critical moments. Every moment, every day creates different opportunities and different moments, different battles and different struggles. And it's a continuous fight. And yes, you can get tired. You can get depleted, but you can do it. You can do it. You can you can survive this thing. I want to share with you something that has been monumental in my life. And I promise you that if you get this, if you get this, it will change your life forever. It will change your life forever. It's actually located in the best-selling book of all times. The best-selling book of all times. Second Corinthians chapter 1, verses 3 and 4. And it says, praise in an NIV Testament. Praise be to God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, and the Father of compassion and the God of all comfort. Follow me. I'm telling you, if you get nothing else, get this. This has blessed my life tremendously. The God of all comfort, who comforted us in all our troubles. He's the God of all comfort who comforts us in all our troubles, so that so that we can comfort those in any trouble with the comfort we ourselves receive of God. So this is the God of all comfort who comforts us in all our troubles, so that we can comfort those in any trouble by the same way he comforts us. So I begin to read that and I begin to see what I call a power of attorney. A power of attorney is a legal document that gives someone the legal right to act on your behalf in their absence. Okay. So I remember in the Marine Corps, we went overseas, we all wrote out, some of us had power of attorneys where it left someone else uh, the legal right or having the ability to sign our names or to handle business while we were out of the country. Power of attorney. Follow where I'm going. The very area in which you're hurting right now would be the very area in which you will be the most impactful, because as you go through, you grow through. As you're growing in what you're going through, you come out with the ability to be able to impact and empower other people that's coming along by the same way God comforted and empowered you. You'll be able to impact and empower them. So there are people out here that's praying for comfort. They're praying for help. They're praying for strength. They're praying for encouragement. They're praying for a move of God. And guess what? The clouds are not gonna split and some miraculous thing happen. Their inspiration is gonna come from your story. Their encouragement is gonna come from your story. Their answered prayers are going to come from your story, because you decided not to give up. You decided not to give in. You decided to continue. You decided to devote your life and to look beyond what you're going through right now to continue forward to be a blessing to somebody else. Your story will be the answered prayers to somebody else's life. Somebody is praying for help right now, and their help is going to come from the tenacity that you show because you've chosen not to give up. Their help is going to come. Their prayers are going to be answered by the zeal that you show because you decided not to give up and not to give in. Even though you want to give up, you didn't and you're not. Even though you feel like giving up, you haven't and you're not. Even though you feel like tucking your tail and running, you haven't and you're not. And their answered prayers are going to come from your zeal and your tenacity and your commitment to go through what you're going through and not give up. The thing you are experiencing, the thing that's challenging you the most mentally and physically, the very thing that's the most hurtful, and the very thing that feels like a stake has been driven in your heart, the very thing that's shoveling dirt on top of you as if it's covering you up, as if you're useless right now, that very thing up down the road would be the area of your most impactful area. And your story will be the answered prayers to other people coming along that want to give up while they're on dialysis, that want to give up while they're waiting on kidney transplant, that want to give up while they're waiting on a heart transplant, that want to give up because of the divorce, that want to give up because of the COVID-19, that want to give up because the times in 2020 has been so horrific and tremendous. They're going to want to give up, and they're not going to give up because they see you pushing. They see you pushing. They see you thriving. They see the tenacity. They see the zeal. And that's what they need. That's what they need. Your story will impact lives and generations unseen and unheard to time. You become the answered prayers to many people all over the world. Your tenacity become that inspiration that fuels other people's lives because you decided, no, I'm not going to give up. No, I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give in. You got to believe in yourself. Don't worry about what statistics say or what the odds are. You could be the first to do what people say can't be done or that hasn't been done. You could be the first. You got to have so much belief in yourself that if you believe that you're a quarterback and you don't have a team surrounding you, you got to be willing to take that football and wrap back and throw it up and then run out and catch your own pass. That's how much belief you got to have. Be willing to go against the odds. Be willing to go against statistics. Be willing to go against what the world may say. Believe in yourself and know that the ability to take life one step at a time. As your days are, so shall your strength be. Take it one step at a time, one moment at a time. You'll find, I'm going to say again, you'll find just up ahead that your greatest blessing is just on the other side of you wanting to give up. Inspire your children. by your tenacity. Inspire your nieces and your nephews, your sisters and your brothers and your friends and your co-workers. Inspire your neighbors. Inspire people that's looking at your story, listening to your story all over the world by social media. Impact their lives and become the answered prayers. You become their answered prayers. You become their inspiration. You become their motivation. You become the in fact impactful tool that they've been praying for. It's in you. It's in you. Don't stall out where you are. Don't give up. Don't give up where you are. Don't give in. Don't give in. I'm telling you, I had times in my life where I wanted to give in. I wanted to quit. Quitting was easy. You could be faced with things in your life where quitting would be easy, giving up would be easy, ending it all would be easy. But like me, don't you choose that route because greater is in you. People are dependent on you, people are counting on you. Find your purpose, find your reason why. Find that reason to push when you don't want to push. And guess what? If you really want it, if you really want it, you could do it. If you really want to push beyond your limitations, if you really want to, you can do it. It's in you. Fight for what you believe in. You got to be willing to fight for it. You got to be willing to suffer for it. You got to be willing to push for it. You got to be willing to die for it. That's this thing we said in the Marine Corps. And I find it befitting to share with you right now. And we always said it because our training was very vigorous. It challenged us mentally and physically. Training broke us down to build us up. And it was this: mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. If you don't mind suffering for it, if you don't mind pushing for it, if you don't mind crying for it, if you don't mind being criticized for it, if you don't mind being knocked down, keep getting up, knocked down and keep getting back up, knocked down and keep getting back up. If you don't mind, then it doesn't matter what you go through. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter what you go through because you'll come to this realization that your reason why, when you accept your reason why, you basically accept the responsibility to live for someone or something that's greater than yourself. You're not pushing just for you. You're not suffering just for you. You're not going through what you're going through just for you. But that person that's on the back, looking over your shoulder, that person that's pulling on your coattail or your shirt tail, that person that you're reaching down to pick up, that person that's saying mommy or daddy, or that person that's saying Mr. or Mrs. So and so, that person that's looking on social media now and that's praying for relief, that's praying for some sign or some hope, some inspiration, some reason to continue, some reason to not give up or to end it all. When you decide to find your reason why, your purpose for living, any goal that you set your mind to, not can be accomplished, but it will be accomplished. Don't give up and don't give in. Thank you for tuning us with us tonight on the Finding Your Will to Survive show. I'm your host, Raynaldo Alexander. Perhaps you may want to reach out personally. You can connect with me on Facebook at Finding Your Will to Survive, at Finding Your Will to Survive, the at symbol, Finding Your Will to Survive. All compressed together, no spaces. You can connect with me. You can connect with me there. And if something has been said, if you've been inspired, if you've been touched, and I'm honored and humbled to get the comments and the testimonies from people all over the world that this show has been so impactful for their lives, that people are going through so much, that this year alone has been so horrific, so horrific. I personally know of 3 people that's died and passed on this week alone. 2 of my relatives. It's been a tough year. It's been a tough year for me, for you, for everyone. And life has a way of throwing dirt on you to cover you up as if you're done and if you're finished, but you're not done. I'm here to tell you tonight that you're not done and you're not finished. Your life has purpose. Every step you take is purposeful, and it's just a matter of time before your pain connect you to your purpose, and your pain will push you to your promotion. Thank you again for tuning in with us on the Finding Your Will to Survive show. You can tune in with us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central. I'm sorry, that's 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which will be 7 p.m. Central Time. Tune in with us every Tuesday. Mark it on your calendar. Set it in your notes. Tell somebody about it. Start a watch party, and let's be an inspiration to the world. Let's share this story. Let's share this story. Let's share this page, and let's impact the world together. Don't give up and don't give in. Thank you. Y'all have a great night.